Or maybe. Never say never.
All right, stop.
So, oh hey buddy, hey Johnny.
Uh-huh.
um, so last session was kind of a pick me up, so I'm going to kind of recap the past two. You guys left the haunted house, went back to the wood, brick, and stone Finding Forever home, spoke to the Luxodon there. Mudab, who, upon going through the paperwork, discovered that the house was under the ownership of Relisa. And you quickly grab the papers saying that a uncle or someone had left it to you, and yes, it is yours, which they had no reason to argue. So I don't really know why you lied, but I guess that's just how Amanda is. And moving forward, so you guys went and did a little look-see around the house. You found that it had magically turned into a keep, as described in the Deck of Many Things. Oh, Peter disappeared, by the way. Unit 7 disappeared. Anyways, you guys went shopping, and that's kind of how you handled Unit 7's disappearance. You went shopping. You did some tinkering. You did gather Unit 7's items. You have them. We'll figure that out where you actually are keeping that. But you guys went and spoke to, or Olden specifically, went and spoke to Astrophy and what is that guy's name? Noprock, two engineers, and shown them that you had found something very interesting. A item made from. Gotta jump back over here. You found a mechanical mech that was made by a famous tinkerer named Leslie Drew Moody, and offered for them to come and kind of tinker around with you at the keep. You guys got a bunch of groceries, set up the house. You've claimed rooms, and had accepted Simon's request for his quest, and are getting things kind of put together as you've been waiting for this king's speech to happen, a momentous event, but you're taking care of other businesses. And you guys haven't talked too much about Unit 7, but you've done some research. Relisa went looking for the Vortex of Chaos, trying to find a way to get the paperwork done and finding a sponsor to coach her and help her compete. She was given the option of finding. She found one named Macklemore Wolfgang at the Lions Lane Tavern, who was a champion one day but is kind of a drunkard now. And her other options are to go to the richer parts of the neighborhood and make a much worse deal, but more likely to have success. And her main goal being to get into the Mage College to get more information for a Dimension Door spell and a Misty Step and teleportation anchors, essentially. Tetra, what did you do, my friend? I forget.
I asked Tindalos for help finding Unit 7.
That's right. You saw Tindalos in queue at a noodle stall, a noodle meat stall, and you asked for help to find your friend Unit 7. He said
also found some information about Alpha.
That's right, Alpha at the Gulf of Deserted Scary, and also had a little bit of just kind of generally thinking about the red kelp forest over at the Jagged Strait that came up a little bit. Sherfa, you kind of you never told me if you wanted to do anything, so I don't know if you have put thought to that, but for the most part, you were kind of piggybacking with Sherfa with Relisa as you two kind of went around town. And Simon was gathering supplies for the trip that will take place. Time's a little wonky right now. We're kind of going back and forth a bit, but essentially the day after the King's speech is whenever Simon has said that he's ready to begin the journey. So we will go ahead and pick up with Paige, if that's all right. Is there something you would have wanted Sherfa to do over the past 2 days?
Um, I
And
was going.
and real quick, the way that it's been working mechanically is each day you have a like morning half of the day and then an evening half of the day to make a roll on doing whatever you're trying to do to some sort of success. So if you're going to research a spell, you can spend half a day, you roll. If you don't do well, you can spend the rest of the day doing it, and so on. So you can pick as many different tasks as you want, but they essentially have 2 tasks a day.
Okay. I think the main thing was just getting Olden to make my axe magical.
That is something that would easily be done like over
He was-
dinner time or in the morning.
Yeah.
The other thing I will
what
also
about
remind
you?
you of is you did have intentions, I believe, to speak to the mayor of the lower district.
Yeah. It was. I think supposed. Didn't the guard say something like it's supposed to be after the king's speech that I got to? He would be free, or maybe just that he would be there.
Let me see here.
I only remember. Trying to go back.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my notes as well.
Been a minute since I talked to the guard people.
Yeah, I forget as well. We'll say that he basically said, the mayor of that sector was kind of responsible for the orphanage and the well-being of the children, and that, they're looking for funding. I think you guys gave them some money. But I think we'll just say he's, you would have to come seek an audience with him, essentially. He's a elected official, so I mean, he has an office. You could go to the town hall in that sector if you wanted.
Okay. And what? Who did we think knew more about the cards, the deck of many things?
The Deck of Many Things is a magical artifact. It is common enough to where you've heard whispers of like a magical playing deck. Not sure exactly of its potential capabilities, but that it can do some great and wondrous things. It can cause great disasters. But it would definitely be something of a magic user's strong suit, essentially. So like the Mage Guild would probably be a good place to take that. Maybe the arcane shop that you found the scrolls at.
Let's go to Candlekeep.
Candlekeep doesn't exist.
Let's go to the Keep of Candles.
That also does not. That is actually a candle shop down the road. Keep of
the
Candles.
big old library that totally exists.
There's
I
a library
said
here.
my notes say to meet up with quote unquote the rot, because they might know about the deck. And
Meet
no,
up with the rot.
it says the rot. I don't.
Rot is the stuff in the house that made the house all gooey.
The rot was depicted as a contact to meet up with.
Contact, see?
But they were
They
also,
also described the house as having some rot.
Yeah,
yes.
but I just put it in there because as a quick note saying that, because I don't think I knew what they were yet.
I mean, so yeah, Olden, so we'll say this is kind of over breakfast, the first day of. Olden, do you recall information about the rot?
Yeah, I wouldn't even need to. I have all those papers in one of my scroll tubes, so
Fair enough.
I could even just whip it out and be like, yeah, see, and point at all the references to the rot.
Yeah, and so with that, you guys would piece together. None of this is like concrete connected, but there's receipts and some letters that are like burned and molded.
Yeah.
But it said the one that really kind of stands out. It says, "Bring the information." So let me backtrack. The other letters regard the deck of many things, potential about using it, gathering artifacts that could be given by the deck, and information having to do about the dead gods. And it said to bring it to the ruins of Waterdeep under Mountain Deep. And it said, bring it to me, and then it was signed the rot.
Yeah. So I was gonna talk to you guys about that possibly being something we want to do maybe after the Medusa thing, so we can try and maybe he'll know a way of helping out Unit 7.
Could be. I mean, it was also contact of that terribly evil orphanage runner. So he could be an equally terrible evil person.
You would
May we
definitely put together that these two were working together.
Can we see the map of the house so I can show Susu what room she chose?
Absolutely. There you go.
He took this broom closet.
I did not.
As you did.
It says your name on it.
No, I didn't choose one. I'll be in. Why can't I have the green one?
You can absolutely have the green one.
So funny idea about the green one. Actually, we were talking about during this logistics session that we might turn that into a barracks since there were so many bunk beds in there already
Yes, so
for
that's
this like private guards that we were gonna hire.
Go ahead and explain that for me, so I'm not the only one talking.
Yeah. So let me pull up my notes since they're all handily available. So we talked to some security people. Simon kind of gave us the ins and outs of where we should find those people and what sort of things we should expect, and gave some advice on like how many people we should have. And going to talk to them, they said that they would recommend for light security a minimum of 2 people, and for like proper security somewhere between 6 and 10, and for like basically having a private army you get like 20 people. And that if we provide them with beds and have like a barracks on site, then they'll only charge us 1.5 gold per day with a year-long commitment, or 2 gold per day if they're off-site.
What if we take one of the rooms from downstairs though, and we just move the bunk beds down there, and we just have the upstairs being like our primary living quarters, and the downstairs having a room for the barracks, and then like, the kitchen and stuff.
So
Yeah,
I
We could
will
always
whatever we
have
want.
just the blue room.
I will jump in and say, as far as like room and house split up and stuff, you guys can always go back and forth and change this map as much as you want. I'll try and leave it on here anytime we're not playing. Y'all can figure out those logistics and stuff. And then once you guys start saying like, I want to move this in here, or have this or whatever you want, that's whenever stuff needs to be locked in. But you guys have some time to figure that out.
I could just be in the blue one. I don't need bunk beds and all that anyway.
Or you can come hang out in the red one. It's bigger.
One looks like it's a.
Oh, you don't have to pay attention to what is inside of it. Like it's a bedroom. There's
You
beds.
can redecorate it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is just a map I got offline. Even like as you guys walk through, some of the stuff wasn't that way. So the layout's correct, but what's inside is pretty much 100% malleable. The kitchen has already been restocked. You would know this, but the kitchen's been fully stocked. Olden went with Astrophy, and Noprock filled that up. So yeah, have you guys? So what? So to go back to you, Paige, is there anything else you wanted to achieve, or is just kind of taking care of things, helping others with various tasks? All right by you?
Oh.
Yeah, and then
Down.
just I don't know how
No.
to.
Down.
Did we? I don't know how to make my axe magical.
It's already.
It's already
on
magical.
here. You already made it on there?
Yep.
Ooh, thanks. And then if it is my chance to talk to the mayor, I would.
Watch this.
Yeah. So I found the notes. It's Rock Gunderson was the name of the mayor of the Lower District. I sent it to you in Discord
Yeah.
as a message. But yeah, so that is the mayor. Do you want to head to the town hall?
Yeah, I would see if the guards that dealt with the orphans could go with me since they know the situation.
Sure. Why
But
don't you
if
roll?
not, then,
Why don't you roll an investigation check?
my investigation's all that great. Not sure. 12.
Roll with advantage. Dasarak walks up to you as you're kind of walking there. He goes, "Oh, hey, yeah, I was thinking about looking for those guys too. Let's find them." And Dasarak's with you.
Sure. Worth.
Okay. So 12. It takes you about 2 hours walking around town. They eventually come out of a just an establishment, a building where someone is selling just some various knickknacks and stuff, and they're kind of waving bye to them. And they see you, go, "Oh, hi. How are you?"
Good. I was gonna be on my way to the mayor's office, and since you helped me with the orphans earlier, I figured maybe you would accompany me to him and go over the situation so we can all find maybe a situation we could help them out.
They kind of look at each other, and they're both two humans, and the taller black gentleman with like dreadlocks pulled back into a braid, going behind, laying on his cape. He has leather pauldrons on his shoulder, and he just looks over and says, "Is that all right if I go with her? You got patrol for the next what?" And he looks over you like 30 minutes, an hour, maybe.
Oh, I do have one. I got the guards. There's a dragonborn and then a human. One's Tolrock and one's Simon. The human is Simon and Tolrock is the dragonborn.
Yeah.
Cool. So Tall Rock will be the tall black gentleman. Simon's not with him.
Oh.
But he just says, "You got this," and he's like, "All right, yep. Yeah, I'll meet you up in about an hour over at blah 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 shop." He's like, "Yeah, we'll get some of those sticky buns." He's like, "All right."
Ooh, sticky buns.
So he walks off,
Never mind.
and Tall Rock walks with you and makes casual conversation as you guys head over there. And yeah, you approach the town hall. He leads the way and just lets you in, and knocks on the door of the mayor. And he's like, "Come in, come in." You two enter and sit down, and Tall Rock will gesture towards a chair for you to take a sit, and you both kind of sit down.
Thank you.
And you see in front of you a pretty lithe man, not muscular, not very tall, pretty skinny. He has very thin hair that is just kind of old, back pulled into a ponytail with like a bow tied around it. He's wearing some very basic tabard over his chest, and there's just like mountains of paperwork on his desk, and he just looks up and goes, "Well, nice to meet you. Oh my god, I lost his name already. My name is Rock Gunderson. What can I do for you?"
Hello, sir.
That name before.
My name is Princess Grimoire, and this is my friend Dasarak. He's with me, right?
Yes,
You
yep,
said?
yep.
Okay. We
Dasarak's
had a
over in the corner,
situation-
like messing with
Dasarak.
like some glasses of water and stuff, like not engaged, because Dasarak's weird.
Yeah, Dasarak's weird. We had dealt with the orphans a little bit earlier, and it seems like there's not quite a structure that's able to be set up for them right now. And I want to see if maybe there was something that we could go over and that I could help out with. I don't have tons of funds, but I'm willing to help where I can.
He takes off these like really thin glasses that kind of sit at the bridge of his nose, and he just pulls them off and like taps the papers as you talk. And as you're continuing to talk, he pulls out goes through like a flitter of papers, and then pulls out a small stack in between that's kind of bound with some twine. And he's like flipping through some papers as you're talking, and he says, "Ah, yes, the child situation. I mean, we've been trying to get something together with the crown for some time, but the lower district. I mean, you can walk around here and you can see that we don't have funds for a lot. A lot of the buildings need repair, and the security guard are great." And he gestures towards a Tall Rock. And he says, "But we just don't have the funds for something like that at the moment now. I mean, are you even a part of this community? Princess, you said?"
Yes, I'm not technically a part of the community. My friend did just inherit a home here, though. So, while traveling, I guess I will be a partial part of the community.
Nods slightly confused. And he's like, "Well, Uh, and you know that typically whenever you call out your princess title in official capacity, you would pull out some sort of trinket or icon of some sort that would prove that you're a princess. You know, you can't just walk around and be like, "Hey, I'm princess. It's me." So
No.
I would say you
And my
have that.
notary and book and stuff
There you
that
go.
I write all my letters to my dad with.
You're a notarized princess?
So yeah,
They have my stuff on them. Shut up.
so you open up your book with your letters and notary and whatnot, and on the inside is embossed and gilded a symbol that you can come up with later and describe to us. But Dasrak is the only one who will have seen it at this point because he's not shared that with anyone else. So think of something that's really cool that represents your clan, and that's going to be your sigil. But you show him that, and he just gives you a very respectful nod, and you see that he kind of perks up and is listening more, and he says, "Well, Princess Shirfa, Miss Grimoire, the children are very important, of course. You know, they are, you know, what comes next. We have to build something to leave behind to them. If you've come into a home, I mean, are you all a business? I mean, our issue is we don't have funds currently. We do have our fingers in a handful of expeditions downriver that hopefully will bring some more income to the lower district, but I mean, we simply don't have the funds. I mean, it costs, I believe, 10,000 gold to get an abbey up and running for a year long of child care for the amount of orphans that we have. I mean, we try our best not to arrest them, and he kind of looks over at Tall Rock, who's kind of like, you know, they're just trying
they
to
have
survive.
Some spunk.
Yes, they can be quite feisty. I heard that you guys made one of them fly.
One of my friends did. It was more so he would stop running because he did
You
tend
see,
to cause some harm to a home and some other things that we were trying to take care of at the moment. But it was not meant to cause any harm. It was just to get him to pause for a moment.
and when you say my friend, you see him reach over his desk for a quill and just dabs it in some ink and then pulls it back and just to start writing on the same paperwork you pulled out. You would kind of look over and you would see the name of the boy on there and said, you know, just writing information about, you know, basically your side of it, and says, well, you know, I do deeply understand. He puts his glasses back on and says, well, I mean, we are trying our best. You know, if maybe, and he kind of slides his hands on the paper back and forth, and he like, should I ask this? Should I not? Maybe if, you know, your clan were so inclined to possibly reach out some financial support, we could build a bridge between our communities and take some funds there, and we could pull some elsewhere and maybe make it work. Otherwise, we would need to find something to feed this program on a consistent basis. If you've come into housing and you don't plan on staying here, perhaps you could rent out the space to adventurers who would traverse the river, and for staying at your location, maybe a percentage of it can be given to the orphanage. Some sort of business plan.
I was going to see about our bottom half of our home possibly being able to rent a couple rooms out. Obviously, we like to help adventurers out as well. I do like the idea of possibly having my tribe, though we live off the land more than money. We do still
Yes.
obviously create some funds. I was wondering if maybe between you, myself, and any recommendation from my father, once we send him some correspondence, we could have something drawn up to maybe have a proposal to the king himself to maybe make more of a what is the word? What are the words you guys use for it? I'm talking to him. uh, a grant, a loan.
And when you mention the king, you see, if he wasn't thinking hard before, he's really like, he finds himself lost in the sauce, speaking to a princess about perhaps writing up a proposal to the king about setting something, a grant of some sort up for this. And he says, yes, I mean, that would be fantastic. I've had a bit of a hard time communicating and expressing exactly the needs, and having a princess from the Grimoire tribe, the Ironhide tribe, would be fantastic. Yes, absolutely. And you see him call out to an assistant, and he says, Billon, come in here. And he begins giving him information and asking for files and paperwork on some projects that they have. And he says, hey, I want you to see if there's any surplus we could do, and if we cut off the second level of this and just not build it, how much will we save? And go run those, go ask the foreman that's working that job and let me know, and go check on the boat. And he just starts spitting off some jobs, and for like 3 minutes he's just coming up with these ideas off the top of his dome, and you can tell that he's reaching for straws, but he definitely wants to make this happen. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. And I let him know, obviously, if there's any other task I could help with, I'm willing to as well.
Yeah.
With advantage. Ooh. God. Well, I mean, I did okay, but I like my persuasion on my other character though. 21 total.
21 total. Very good. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell that he's eager and he's not putting on a show. He's trying to make something happen.
I'll give him the address of our little abode right now.
Absolutely. 37
As of
Black Brick
right
Way.
now, we just moved in, literally today. So we're still figuring out guards to protect it while we're venturing and other things, but we can definitely try and see about at least, if not housing any of the orphans, we can try and rent to support part of supporting them. We are about to go on a mission. Am I able to give you some funds for the women that took in the kids while the other day?
Yes. And he pulls out the paper and just holds it up, and you can see the name of the boy. I believe it was Simon. Nope. Rand.
Everybody's name.
Rand and Pip.
Rand.
You see the.
Yeah, I was like,
You see the names at the top. It says Rand and Pip. It says, yes, we have her address here. Absolutely, we can take whatever you'd like to provide. I'm sure she'd be ecstatic to have financial support. It is quite the task, as you know.
Where's my worry?
Amanda, your mic is reverberating our voice a bit.
We didn't get any new funds recently, right? That I'm aware of.
Blake would have split up.
280.
Yep, you received
A while.
Put it
all
in there, right?
funds that
Okay.
were due to you.
I'm just making sure before I start taking anything
I believe
out.
there was like 90 and then like 240, 250.
Yep,
I'll-
exactly right.
I'll give 80 gold.
80 gold?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how long we're gonna be away, so until this whole thing gets set up, I want them to have funds.
Like, one
Right.
gold a day would handle the boys. 1 gold a day would handle
how
both the
long?
boys. For, like, probably a
'Cause I
week
don't know how long-
almost.
Creating the home is gonna take, and
I'm just saying 80
Um,
gold is, like, that will last them for, like, multiple years.
oh
I mean, that's fine. I'm just letting you know, like, that's
no,
that's
I'm
a,
just
that's a substantial
I didn't know
amount of
how
gold.
long it was gonna take
For
and how much they would need. For like a home to be built. And how long we'll be gone.
you're not
Let's say
you're not
Throw that
wrong.
money around. You're a princess.
I mean, I would say a hefty amount that's like guaranteed to make sure that they have a good living while this is all happening. Like, probably 10 gold would be well enough. Because most
Just in case
likely, you get the sense that a lot of the city is pre-built out and a lot of buildings get reused. So it may not be
Yeah.
necessarily that they have to build something new, but that they probably just refurbish something.
Well, I'll do 20 just because also the lady didn't need to take in kids that aren't her own, so
Very good. All
I'll
right.
hand him 20.
His eyes go wide when you pass over this mountain. He says, your generosity will rip through the city as a act of kindness from the Ironhide tribe. Your ferocity matches your kindness. I thank you. Thank you very much. And he calls over the assistant again and says, take this over to blah, 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 right away. This is her address. And he immediately just walks out. Doesn't run or anything, but he just walks out.
and I can't think of what to write at the moment, but I'll write up. I'll get it to you and write up some part of a request, at least to the king, for them
For sure.
to also have the mayor sign on it, and then I'll send it off to my dad
For sure.
as a proposal to my dad first, get it signed, and then send off to the king.
Very
But I'll
good.
write it up.
So we'll say you write that up, this evening, and then maybe even the next
Yeah.
day. And the next day, the mayor will actually come visit you at your house. You gave the address. He will come knocking on the door. Let me see. There are 5 of you. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No one naked.
Can I
No one
say
be naked.
for sure, like in the workshop?
Relisa, you hear the door knock.
No, not me.
You're
I'm
muted?
asleep
Okay.
in my blue room. I'm in my
I
blue room.
I would
Also
open the
left.
door.
You see in front of you a slender man with very straight hair pulled back behind him in nice robes. He has a single dragonborn guard with him. He says, "Is Princess Shrifa Grimoire here?"
She is. Who are you?
I am the mayor of this district. My name is Ruck Gunderson. He reaches out a hand to shake you.
I will shake it.
His
Is the-
grip is very light.
Oh, so is mine.
Okay.
Is the dragon guy with him the same one from before?
It is. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So I let him in.
I forgot.
Uh,
You're good.
they step in. Yeah.
You leave the poor man alone, Relisa.
No, you're not even there. You can't tell me that.
You see him like sitting up
can't tell me
straight,
Tell me
like
what to do.
looking down his snout, like bouncing his eyes down towards you, like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? I shouldn't have came here.
And I giggle. And I
Hey.
walk away and I wink at him. And then I'll be like, I'll be right back. I do have my boots of rolling on, so I skate over to release
Yeah.
or to Sherfa. And
Uh,
I'm all like, Sherfa, you have visitor. Princess! Princess!
Oh, I'm coming.
so yes, you quickly come down and meet them in the foyer, this kind of antechamber room, and he says, "Princess Sherfa, you were mentioning if there is something you could do to kind of help with the situation, and in fact, there is."
Oh. Well, what is it?
There is a mining expedition down in the river. Thousand Leaf River branches. It is quite a maze. If you go down there, of course, you would need some sort of guide to lead you down there. But if you would be able to go to mining site C4 and retrieve the barrels that were left there, we have barrels full of precious gems and ores that were mined out. Unfortunately, the company was shut down about a year ago. It was overrun by the denizens that traverse that area. If you and your party were able to make your way there and retrieve the items, we would be able to sell them to the companies in the upper district and make quite a lot of money. And I would guarantee you a promise, 50% of that will go straight to the orphanage.
Oh, wow. That's quite a bit. That's very generous. How are we to carry the barrels back?
There, you would have to take a ship to get to the location. They often have equipment there that would allow you to transport the barrels from where they are to the ship. Unfortunately, I do not know the specific location of the barrels. We were given word that barrels were ready to be shipped out whenever the mining operation came under attack, just a few days before we were able to send a retrieval ship to bring the load back. And very unfortunate, all of the miners died. We don't know what. We've sent a few scout ships to see what the situation was, and they did not return. We were told by the government that we're unable to operate out of there, and it is restricted to adventurers only, unfortunately. Those knowing the risk of what they sign up for.
Is Relisa, are you still there?
Yes.
I don't remember the whole Simon situation. Is that where we're supposed to be going? Where Medusa is or not?
Down the river, yes,
I don't know.
but the Medusa
It's just a
lair
different
is not.
location.
Yeah, I mean, Simon
Okay.
didn't bring anything up about it being a mining location.
So this might be something that we have to do before we leave or after. I mean, we do have, I would look over to the mayor and go, we do have another assignment that we were actually going to leave on. Was it tomorrow? What is the King's speech today?
King's speech is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So that we were going to leave in 2 days. How long of a trip would this be?
Typically, the trip can take. I mean, it depends on the speed of the river, um, and how well you fare through the cave system. But 2 days downstream, 4 days up.
Oh, we would have to, I think we would have to talk about it because we already had plans to leave. I don't know if those are available to get postponed. We would have to ask our
I have
the
no
person that hired us.
and I have no intention of needing this done in any time soon. You just asked if there was a way to help. This is open and available. It's like I said, it's been sitting there for quite some time. No one's gone to gather it, and make no mistake, it is extremely dangerous. I cannot express this enough. I feel guilty even bringing this proposition to a princess, but from the Grimoire family, I mean, if there's anyone who could do it, surely it would be.
It's Sherpa. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I'm pretty sure my dad's presence precedes himself more than mine.
Well, from great cloth you are cut. So, but I was in the neighborhood and thought I would leave this information with you. And he hands you a map, and you see a map that is very crudely drawn. It's not like a very well done cartographer's map, but it is a like there's like two lines that look like a river, and then there's like a split, and then it just points in circles. What did I say that was? Was it C4 mining spot C4?
Yeah.
C4.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, and he
Oh.
says, well, if you find it, you know, take the ship when you dock. Just come and come to the town hall, and I will send out some guards to watch the materials, and we will handle everything from there.
Do you have a ship? Does a ship normally go out there?
So I suppose you've not been to the docks. The
I
docks
have not.
is expansive. There are
Oh.
quite literally hundreds of ships. Most of them are smaller runners, as the caves can become quite thin depending upon which system you follow. Much of the major mining operations stay directly to the west, and those channels are much larger, much safer, reinforced. They have a lot of the military from the upper echelon protecting their interest, of course. A bit of a monopoly, if you ask me, but where this is
Everything
branched off to the southwest.
Southwest. Okay. And then do you know anyone that could be a guide? That I could at least get their name for when we come back into town after our current mission?
I do not. Most captains are able to navigate these rivers. I would just be upfront with the task that you propose, let them know where you're going, and I believe, and what's his name, Toll Rock will chime in and he says, yes, most of the captains down there know about C4. It's become quite a legend, so they will know what you're after. They will probably want to cut themselves.
Well, that's fine. I can
And
support them
yeah,
somehow.
Rock Gunderson will speak. Will say, yes, we will take care of that out of our own share. 50%, of course, will go to the orphanage.
Well, that's very
That's
nice.
kind of you. Well, I appreciate the information, and honestly, I think most of my team would likely be up to it. I guess we'll have to see how we feel after our current mission. It's supposedly quite dangerous as well, so I guess we'll have to see on how much energy we have after this, or if we all come back. So hopefully we do.
I hope so.
Well, have safe travels, and be careful. And he gives you a very royal bow, showing much respect, and excuses himself.
Oh.
And yes.
And I just give him my finished letter, and I just advised, send it to my dad. He should send it back to you, and then once you've gone over it, you can send it to the king, just in case I don't come back.
Roughly how long is it? Is it like a full page, half a page? Is it pretty cut and dry, or?
17 pages.
No, it's not that long. I figured with like me writing, possibly him writing, and my dad probably, just 1/3 of the page
Okay.
each.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So he'll take it and he says, absolutely. I will write in my proposal in acceptance, and I will return it back to you so that you may send it to your father.
Hold on, one more thing, and just kind of to see his reaction. I'm gonna cut my finger with the dagger and put my blood on it, and be like, "Here you go. Now it's done." And I put my dagger back.
He's like wide-eyed and is like, so that's a normal thing. That's fine. That's yes. Do I have to do that?
Just so they know it's authentic. No, you don't have to. It's just me. My father knows my blood.
I mean,
Relisa.
Whatever Relisa starts chiming in saying, "Yeah, you do." Tolrock just grabs his shoulder and just shakes his head no.
King.
It's like, sure, yes, thank you, Madam Relisa.
It's just
You're
me.
welcome.
Thank you, Princess. Have a good day.
Thank you for stopping by, Mayor.
Yeah,
And I want to boots of rolling myself over to the door to open it, and right before I get in front of what's his name?
Tolrock, Tulrock.
Tolrock. I pretend to stumble. So clumsy.
He just lets her fall.
He does. He absolutely does. You stumble and fall, and
open the door.
He just looks down. He's like, "Are you all right?"
Perfect giggles just a little under her breath.
You say no like that, and he immediately knows you're talking about your pride, and he just steps over you and walks out.
Oh damn!
Brutal.
Damn! Savage.
Wait, what is it? You have died.
KO. Just
very good. So, Simon, is there anything other than what we've already talked about? You getting the ship and whatnot. Is there anything else you would have liked to have done? I know we kind of covered you a lot between you and I.
I mean, I would have asked after I talked with the captain and gave the 50 for the transportation, I would have talked to everybody else and see if they will how adept they were at sailing.
sorry, Sharp is just like.
So for you guys, metagame wise, if you're proficient with water vehicles, then you are very well adept. If you're not, if you're good at survival, if you're good at perception, if you're good at strength, if you are good at carpenter tools or blacksmithing tools, all those would kind of gear you towards the ability to be useful on ship. Otherwise, you have your abilities and your magic abilities and your can-do attitude. So take that.
I'm just a really optimistic person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty decently strong, and my survival's decent. I'm proficient in survival and acrobatics.
I am not good. I'll probably throw up everywhere.
I'm a hard worker, but I hate water.
I'd say my strength is my strongest. Oh yeah,
Strong
Tetra
suit.
doesn't like water too much. We
Only
could
when
put you
his
underneath.
mommy's bathing in.
Yeah, I'd probably go ahead and just get a full crew.
Yes.
You want to purchase a full
I
crew?
want to help.
Yeah.
Okay. So for a full crew, let me see
I want to do
here.
stuff. Teach me.
So a crew of sailors. I mean, it's 2 gold a day per crew. So I did not think you would do this. So let me read something real quick. No, it's
I
just
can have a
I already have a bunch of stuff in place. It's just now they're gonna do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you need to hire 4 crew to successfully be able to have the ship running without having any of you guys dealing with anything.
All right, and you said it was about a 10-day trip. There and back?
That's the estimated, yes.
All right, so that times 10 plus that times 10.
River's like, I can still help. You just have to show me.
We could probably grant them advantage. So what? It looks like, Oh wait, how many crew did you say I needed?
You're gonna need 4. So you have the captain, which is already kind of in your estimate, and then you're gonna need
Right.
4 crew. So there'll be 5 total. But yeah.
Okay, so it looks like a grand total of 130 gold.
Woof. It's not cheap.
Sure.
I can pitch in some if needed, or is it gonna come out of the price of our earnings?
No, this is me taking care of transportation.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Simon.
So I'll take the 140, and then was the initial estimate based off of getting fruits and veggies for the dried meats for the trip?
Yeah.
Scurvy.
Yes,
we
it
want
was.
scurvy.
Yeah, so
We
for
want scurvy.
again for metagame knowledge, you guys won't have to worry about food or water during this whole trip, or rations or anything.
Ah. But I want Tetra to fight off scurvy and go insane. Just feral kitty cat on board, scared of water.
And we're trapped on board with him.
That's
So
true.
great.
That's true. I guess I don't want
Alright.
you to go feral, Tetra. Sorry.
I
It'd be
think
fun.
that's it.
Okay.
Besides going and securing transportation, getting supplies, what he'll mostly just do is he'll be spending his time in whatever room you guys have set up for him.
You can have the red one. I took the blue one. I'm moving.
Okay.
I'm not in the closet no more.
Okay. So
Yeah.
at the end of the second day, so the day before the king's speech, Tetra, what would you be doing in the afternoon? Day before king's speech, you guys are kind of preparing to go out to
I wonder
this.
if Daddy's gonna show up.
You're gonna groom yourself?
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to get all gussied up, wear my best armor.
Did you say because your daddy?
I said, I wonder if my daddy's going to be there.
So the king's
In
there.
the presence of the king.
Oh, okay. You know your dad's at Tridon, right?
King's from Tridon too, right?
No, King's here. They're two. Oh my God, the King is king of Thousand Leaf only. The Union Enclave runs Tridon. I may not have.
Oh, yeah.
I may not have explained this very well, which you'll understand in the King's speech. So Thousand Leaf is ran by the King. Tridon is ran by mages. They work together, but they kind of don't like each other. There's this like discord of, which Dasrak was kind of saying. Do you remember Dasrak was saying the mages, blah blah blah?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge.
Yeah, Kyle, it's a little hard to hear you. I don't know if you're muted or something. Oh, you're better now.
That's better.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
I guess
the
I
first
just
time.
probably had the mic in a weird spot.
Cool. So you're like grooming yourself, and then you're like polishing your armor, and you look up, and in front of you, you see a bone devil.
Jackal. Jackal? Is it a jackal? Oh.
Oh.
Sitting
Close.
there with his arms crossed, leaning against the wall. And you see Carrick, the devil you made a deal with, just looking over at you and
And I
says,
see, or he's the one I see?
say what?
Well, first you said I see a bone devil, and then you said and you see Carrick, but that's the same one, right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say and.
Just
It
the
is
one.
Carrick, yeah. I was
Okay,
clarifying,
okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, you see Carrick in front of you, and you kind of pause, and he says, don't let me stop you.
Too late?
Ew.
What'd you say?
Too late? I've already
Okay.
stopped, you know. I feel like I know why he's here,
And
but
he's just
what do you want?
he's just staring at you. What do I want? My friend, I am currently working for you. I'm trying to
Do you
find,
bring information?
well, a bit of an update. I like my clientele to be well informed. You know, there's a relationship, a rapport. We got to build it up. We got to build trust. And he takes your pauldron from your hand and the thing you're using to like wipe it clean, and he starts cleaning it for you.
Dude, boundaries.
He just
Yeah, sorry.
you just see what you can only imagine is a smile. He's kind of hunched over, looking at you. He's kind of hunched in this room. He's like, I think, 9 foot tall, and he says, hands it back to you. And says, "I've been looking for this jackal for you. It's quite difficult to find and track down, but I still have plenty of time. I will locate him. Seems like you've run into other troubles, though."
Snooping in on my business?
Well, you kind of are in my business.
But my business isn't your business.
Fair. Just offering a helping hand. If you need something, you come to Carrick.
Come to daddy.
If you already know where he is, then we can talk.
Can't get out of my head now.
He says, "I think I have a pretty good idea where he is."
Well, that's not what I said.
He just kind of raises his hands back, says, "All right, no need to get testy and caught up on semantics. If you want to search the realm all by your lonesome, it's a pretty nifty corner he's been set into."
Well, you sound unsure. So, if you're not sure, then you've got nothing for me yet. If you have something, we can talk.
"Well, I do have a little something for you." And you see he pulls a vial out from his belt, and you see etched on it in gold is Tetra. And you look at it, and little portion of the bottom of it has a little white wispy substance in it, and you see that there is a line that kind of represents the top. And he says, "You know, we can take, but we can also give back if a deal goes awry."
What's going awry?
Nothing at the moment, but maybe, let's say we make a deal and I'm unable to locate him. Maybe some of this could be back in your possession.
I wish I was there.
What other ways are there to get this back in my possession?
You see him really take a pause. And then he tilts his head back down towards you and he says, "For that information, it will cost you."
What'll it cost me?
5.
What?
How about I'll give you 5 in exchange for that information and the location of Unit 7.
Kerfa just bursts it. No, playing.
Don't come in!
Who are you talking to? Just
I was grooming.
two beefy boys up in here. Just
He says, for something as important as that, 10%.
It's a lot.
You're not there.
I know.
Shush.
What are we up to now?
30.
Oh. Never knew the percentage.
Nah, I'm not doing you any favors.
He says,
5, if you like it.
He sticks his hand out.
I'll take it.
You shake his hand?
Yep.
Give me an insight check.
Damn it.
Interesting.
Trevor just wants to beat him up. Leave my friend alone, devil.
21.
So you roll initiative for me as well.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
This is to in this.
23.
Oh. So right before your hand makes contact, if you would have rolled less than him, then you would have shook and then discovered this. But you discovered it right before your hand makes contact. He is about to tell you where Unit 7 is, but he gave it up so easily that you're pretty sure you don't even need it. Do you want to? Because you roll better initiative, you have the ability to withdraw your hand. Do you want to withdraw your hand?
Yeah, I want to see that look in his eye and be like,
You withdraw your hand and he pushes his hand further towards you like, what are you doing? But he doesn't say anything.
I don't know what to tell him, but I have changed my mind.
What does your body language do? Do you like shake your head? Do you just put your hand down? Like what is your body doing?
I would stand up straighter and, proud and stubborn.
He throws his hand down and his voice and demeanor changes. He says, "You'll call on me when you need me." When he goes up in flame and disappears. So, it is the morning of the king's speech. If no one's hit long rest, you can hit long rest. I'm sure all of you have. If you need to pick spells, if you can change spells or whatever, now's the time to do it. Don't forget, you guys are level 7.
Wait a minute.
7.
Level
But-
7.
Oh, I forgot music. That's what's been missing.
It's for me.
Ow.
Oh man, I never found good music for my speech. That's what I meant to do. Let's see. What do I want? Do I have
Just
a
throw
busy
battle music on it.
village, market maybe, busy camp? Let's do market. I don't know what market sounds like. Let's see.
Oh, I was going to give the map to Olden, FYI. The map that the mayor gave me.
Absolutely. And you guys are able to all look at it. I don't have a map image or anything, but you guys essentially know where to go.
May I copy it?
Yeah.
It's
Sick.
yours. I mean, you're the map person. Here you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold on to this and I'm gonna make another one.
Cool.
And then I'll hand you back the original. We got 2
Okay.
maps of that.
Perfect. Very good. So it is the morning of the king's speech. You were told that the speech is going to happen roughly at 10 a.m. So you guys are able to have breakfast. Is there any sort of discussion or anything you want to do Prior, or are you guys ready to listen for a bit of a monologue?
Have
I do.
we?
Go ahead. Holden.
I was just asking, do we have an idea of what this speech is supposed to be about? Because we like had heard several times that he was going to make the speech, but did we ever catch wind of the topic? I don't think I personally remember.
The town crier, I hope no one wrote it down exactly because I did change a part of it, but the town crier said a speech will be held in 3 days at which the king will address his subjects, the surface boroughs, Travel Fall, Mountain Break, Long River, and Oak Trunk. Have been made aware, essentially letting everyone within Thousand Leaf know that the outer boroughs, which are all those names, have been made aware. So those are nearby cities and towns that are on the surface level. It says, please be advised, other local bears have been aware. This announcement is made it's made in a bunch of languages. So it's being held within 3 days. That's actually really a point. Over the course of these days leading up to it, there's a lot of chatter of what's going on. You hear all sorts of rumors, like anything you want to take a guess of, stepping down, going to war, passing out gold to his people. Like you've heard every sort of rumor because
He's
there's
going to
been
hold a tournament to marry
exactly.
his daughter.
Yes,
Going
absolutely.
to war is my guess.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. What do you guys think as you're eating that morning?
I was gonna tell everyone about since I gave the map to Olden. I was gonna tell everyone about the other task that we might want to try and do. Um, after our Simon task, and I just explained it all as the mayor had explained it, and just trying to save time. I don't want to go over all of it, but if you guys have questions or want to
He
say
said this
something
was
about
some
it,
kind of like mining site.
yes, it's a mining site that apparently had gotten ambushed, so the miners are no longer there, sadly. But all their gems that they had dug up beforehand are still there.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
And
The the dangerous part is that they don't know what killed them, from what I can gather.
hmm,
So no one really knows what we would be facing. But he is offering quite a bit to help the orphans.
help the orphans.
Yeah, so
Yeah, the
not
ones you
helping
almost
us.
killed.
Just what?
I like how I'm
Wait,
still being blamed for that, even though I cast the Featherfall. So
I blame both, but no.
I know that
wait
was
a
flat last
minute.
time, just so you
Appreciate you,
know.
Olden. Yep. Yeah, I figured.
So I mean, we're putting our lives on the line here. Did you ask if we're getting compensated at all? Like,
Everything for the actual travel itself is paid out of their pocket, from what I gather, because I'm doing this to solely support the orphans. That money that we would probably receive is going to them.
hmm,
So I understand if you don't want to do it. I am trying to get my father and the king to help on their side to possibly offer loans and grants for them instead as well, or as part of. But this was just another opportunity that the mayor saw as in a way to gain money
yeah. So I
for
need to
the
talk to
cause.
you about
So
that because this is like probably the third or fourth time I've seen you be so gung ho for orphans. What's your investment in orphans?
it's just to help the people that don't have any help. They literally have no one, Olden.
I mean, she is a princess. Princesses are pretty kind.
Do you know what my tribe is made out of, Olden?
Not
People.
really. I mean, yeah, I know that you're kind of a gathering of disparate peoples.
All.
You live in the land.
All.
I haven't really,
Correct.
I'm not. That's about it, though. Do you
It's
guys minister to like orphans specifically?
no, it's just we take in all. If you're lost or if you need someone to we're there. If you're willing to be a sufficient member of society, which I'm trying to hopefully make these kids, then why not have support from your society? It takes a village to raise someone.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. You think that just giving them money though is going to make the difference? What if we
Not
could get
getting the
these
money.
kids like
It's
an occupation instead of gems?
they're not getting the gems, they're not getting the money. That money is going towards the contractors and the builders to build them a home so that they don't have to take over abandoned homes.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
money's then going to the people that are gonna to raise them. It's not going to the kids themselves. They don't get anything technically, as far as I'm aware.
Well,
They
besides,
don't get food.
I
2
mean,
square meals and a roof over their head, which is pretty valuable. But
correct.
I mean, I understand. I just wanted to know if you had any sort of special connection to orphans. You seemed really passionate about it, so I thought I'd ask.
It's, I don't think anyone really should be left behind or not taken care of just because they lost something that they didn't choose to lose. No one
I
chooses
agree.
to lose their parents.
I don't think anybody chooses to lose anything.
I choose to lose bad people in my life, toxic people. I just kind of leave them, but
I just think in some ways we could be doing them a greater favor. I mean, yeah, I'm
I
fine
have
with going
I
along
have
with
two
your
two
plans for
options.
orphan saving, but maybe we could also do something more meaningful and give them somewhere to put their hands other than people's pockets.
Well, that's the whole point of if they have somewhere to live and food and stuff, they shouldn't have a reason to steal. But also, part of that money could go to having teachers and what's the word? Uh, who are the people that teach you, Tetra? What are their names? Trainers?
Teachers.
Just teachers?
Yeah.
Vocational teachers.
There you go.
Oh,
To
uh,
to teach them
they.
stuff in the orphanage.
I am apprenticed to masters.
An orphanage is more than just beds and food. They teach them as well.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I don't think it's okay to just hand people things. Sometimes you have to motivate them.
I love that the concept of doing something good is so strange to Olden.
I mean,
And
what's
that,
good? It's a matter of perspective, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
and
you're
it is.
training an entire group of people to just live off of what they're given instead of working for it.
Oh.
I think
And
he's
I knew what it
playing
was.
out some real world opinions here.
Yeah,
Mm.
but also I knew what it was requesting of everyone because we weren't getting our own
For the record.
monetary.
Not necessarily his own real world
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
I realize
Yeah,
people. There
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, then that's what I tell Olden and them.
Cool.
I realize it's not gaining us any monetary supplies or value, and that's why I have the other plan to petition my father and the king as well. It was just a proposition that the mayor came by with after the
Well,
fact.
and let me be clear, I'm not complaining. I can respect that you want to do some good. I just think maybe we could better serve them by creating that school as opposed to, you know, I don't know. We can talk about it.
You need money to create a school, Olden.
We can talk about it. I'm sure this won't be the last time orphans come up.
No, probably not.
Now you plan on doing this after the Medusa, correct?
Correct. They don't have a time frame or limit because no one's really been able to or want to go down there. So it's kind of just a afterthought. If they receive it and get it, then great, and if not, then it's out of thought, out of mind, from what I can tell.
Good.
Don't worry, we put yours first.
Very
Speaking
good.
of, what are you gonna teach me on the ship, Simon?
I don't know anything about sailing. I've gone ahead and grabbed that whole crew.
I'm gonna have to ask one of them. I gotta learn something new each time.
I'm
Not
sure
worth my time.
someone like yourself proved useful on.
I'm really strong. I can pull the rope things. Um, I, I can load and unload. Shorta's just trying to think of things. She has no idea what ship things are.
Very
That's
good.
it.
Pull on the rope stick
Stuck.
and
Yeah. Exactly. I'm
And
like,
I could haul the keel.
yeah. Oh.
As you guys are having this conversation, you begin to hear a bit of a murmur outside the house as you start to look at the windows and see just groups of people starting to walk towards what you know as a town center, which is roughly about a 45 minute walk away. And it's about an hour away from the King's Speech.
Oh, time to
Oh.
go.
So you
Let's
guys
go.
gather your things and make your way following with the group. And it is a large, massive amount of people. The closer and closer you get to the King's keep. It appears that you are being addressed outside of the castle walls. So the king has his keep, and there's a walled fortress, and then a singular bridge that leads to a gate that leads in through this kind of walled area. But the gate itself is very magnificently built. There is a platform that kind of juts out and hangs over the drawbridge as a like presentation. There's a very large open area where they could see anyone coming from a very long ways away before you see housing and businesses in the rich artisan neighborhood up there. So as you approach, I mean, this is completely packed. You look up on roofs and people are stacked up on the roofs. You look way up to the ceiling, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet up, where you see people are lined up on these bridges, if you remember, that are dangling from the ceiling, these like rope crosswalks that kind of jut back and forth. A lot of the guard are in the area. And you guys are just you kind of get to the back of this huge crowd as more people pile in behind you, and you're just much like Times Square. You're just packed in there like sardines. It's fairly difficult to kind of move terribly far, but people aren't. It's not like Black Friday where you're getting pushed to the point where you might fall over, but is very, very busy. There's probably roughly about 80,000 people out of the 120,000 population that are out here. The king begins to walk out. You see a very tall, muscular, older looking man, maybe in his 60s. His hair is pretty gray with a few streaks of white in his very large well-kept beard. His hair is shaved on the sides, pulled back to a ponytail on his back. That is pure white. And you see that he is in heavy pauldrons with leaves that kind of curl over his shoulders, and just excellently crafted armor. No helmets or anything of that sort. But he gets out in the walkway, and you see some magic, not cast by him, but by someone else, where it actually drops the kind of barrier that would be like a railing for him, so you can see him in complete visibility. You see people are cheering and just hollering and yelling, just kind of praising his appearance. As you see, he's flanked by a variety of guards. Along the way, you see there are 3 mage practitioners that kind of flank him, roughly 10 feet back away from him. And you see one of them kind of reach low and then just shoot their hand straight up. And you see his size grow to twice the size. He's now the size of like a hill giant. He's about 12, 13 foot large. As he just kind of looks over, and there's a large eruption of cheers and cries as people yell out to the king. Long live the king, yeah, just cheering, calling out to him. And after about a minute straight of just this yelling, you see him just raise his gauntleted hand, not open-handed, but just a closed fist, but outward, flat outward, and everyone begins to go to a soft murmur, and eventually it's extremely quiet. And he calls out to everyone, "Good people of Thousand Leaf and all of Allaeros, we have seen great trials and tribulations, have we not? The tyranny of King Elio, the creeping death, food shortages, famine, and of course, the Lightfall itself. But we have also had our triumphs, our achievements. The overthrow of Elio," and there's an eruption, cheer and eruption.
And how do you spell that?
Aileo. And then after that kind of fades, but is still kind of loud, and you can tell, by the way, I should have mentioned this, he has thaumaturgy cast on him, and his voice is booming over everyone else. The priests and clerics of many faiths banding together to fight the creeping death. Another eruption of cheering. The tide wall in our alliance with the Triton from Espera. We now have an abundance of food and an economy-rich district with the artisans. Yes, we will rejoice in this exceptional period. We control our own fate. Again, an eruption of cheers. He again holds out his fist after maybe 45 seconds or so of cheering. Again, it quiets down. Well, even the gods have had their losses. No one is immune to the difficulties of this world. And while I want to remind you of our accomplishments, our infrastructure, the lift, the reach of my gauntleted hand to the surface cities, inspiring those who wish to stay above and carve out their place in our garden, I want you to remember. I want you to remember who did not fight in the battle of the giants in 1109, who did not fight the orc raids from the northwest, who left the surface cities to burn and be raided, and you can see there's like frustration and malice and anger in his voice. Those mages in the lofty towers and floating cities, the Leonin that raised the platforms as their own citizens from the shadowed slums were slaughtered while their city watched from up high. And you hear a bunch of like, boo, no, like fuck them, like a lot of like anger and frustration.
May I make like an insight check against the crowd to see if they're like really on board with this, or if they're responding the way they think they should respond?
Give me a insight with disadvantage. This being such a large,
that would even actually make a difference.
Oh, you just ate a 20.
Oh yeah, baby.
Well, the second one's a 17. 19.
19. I mean, you get a sense that. People hearing that, it's hard not to be like, oh my god, they murdered their own people. Like, you get the sense that it's like people are mad at that fact, not that there's so much like, yeah, I would just say that's
they're like responding in a way that indicates this king is actually well loved and
yes,
is for all of these things he's saying and supported by the people, and they're not just like going along with it.
Correct. Yes, you get the sense that people support him. Absolutely.
Cool.
Can I do an insight check on the king himself?
Sure.
Like,
what do you? Yeah.
I
What
want
are
to
you
know if
inciting?
he fully believes in what he's saying, or if he's just spouting it because it's what's gonna get him basically loved.
Okay. Roll with disadvantage.
I want to know if he's like, oh yeah, this totally happened, even though it probably didn't happen that way, and he's just saying it happened that way.
You would absolutely know that is exactly what happened. In fact, the
Okay.
Ironhide tribe is the tribe that banned with Thousand Leaf in the Battle of the Giants in 1109 and destroyed the orc raids from the northwest. So
But does he? I want to know if he like still believes like all of them, the mages and like the Leonin, are just totally written off in his mind, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. What was your insight check with disadvantage?
So, hold on, I gotta do disadvantage first. Ooh, 7.
There's a lot of energy from this crowd, and he is so stinking far away. It's just super hard to read.
Okay.
You know, being in the political arena, that sometimes people say stuff they don't mean. Sometimes they say stuff they believe. I mean, it's you just have a lot of like insight that you're having a hard time catching on any one part. But he does continue. You see him grip his fist tighter, and he starts shouting at this point. And he says, "Who fought for you? Who led the charge? Who fought hand in hand with the Ironhide tribe and cut off the head of Nuxfar the Mad?" And the crowd begins to go into a frenzy as they start yelling, "Quincy! Quincy! Quincy!" And you guys remember the king's name is Quincy Lemon. After good...
Hold on. Clancy. Spell his last name slowish because I'm dyslexic.
Lamonde.
Yes, Lamond.
Did not get
And
any
then
of
this
that.
L-A?
Slowly, please.
L-A
Thank you.
apostrophe M-O-D-E. Lamond.
Thank you.
M-O-N-D. Sorry, M-O-N-D. Lamond.
And then
Okay.
Nuxar.
Yep. Nuxfar. Yeah. Nufzer. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I wrote a funky name and I wrote it wrong. Said it wrong. Nufzer. N-U-F-X-A-I-R. The Mad. Nuxfair the Mad.
Enough said.
Enough said. After like 2 minutes of this, like, you see him kind of like looking to his people, like nodding in approval, like, yes, you see my greatness. Like, you see that he's like soaking up this moment. You see he's very proud. And then he again holds out his fist for quiet. And people go down to murmur yet again. And after all that, we work with Tridon. Why? You hear people murmuring. And he says, they refuse to help those who could not help themselves. Why do we help? Because we are good. Because no matter your previous life's transgressions, everyone deserves a second chance. You hear quick outbursts of cheers and approval. I want today to be one of remembrance, one of joy, a reflection of where we are and where we are going, as a people, as a faction, and as a nation. For it is the power of the many that make it so. And again, there's another eruption in cheer. You, for the first time, see an uncomfortable pause on him. And for him clearly having intentions and direction for where his speech is going, you see looks like he's at a loss of words. I have fallen ill. And people immediately begin murmuring and chattering. I have been with the priest and those mages from Tridon who choose to attempt to help, and I am unable to find an acceptable solution. My time is coming to an end, more people murmur. But I still have plenty of time to name my successor. And he will be named upon the Drawing Down Festival. And all of you would know that this is the last day of the year before it turns over to the next year.
What was the festival called? Sorry.
Drawing down, like it's drawing to a close.
Drawing down. Okay.
Drawing down festival. But this being a momentous occasion, we will have a 10-day festival in which the crown will be paying artisans for their entertainment. And you see all the artisans like look to each other, grab each other's shoulders, and like are kind of freaking out. The king is now shouting over this growing excitement and talking as people are kind of losing it a bit. I will not be remembered as a withering, dying man. I will not sit on this throne as my people suffer. I will pass on this crown. We will continue to hold power. My transition of the power of Thousand Leaf will stay strong for another 500 years. And people just start cheering and like really like just cheering them on and throwing up their fists. And you see some people start throwing up magic flares of like flame and whatnot. And you see that the two other mages behind him kind of flank out, then they extend their hands out, and you see fireballs are cast out as they explode, and then the cacophony of fireworks are shot from some of the guards up above, and it's just like lights and everything go off, and you see the king hold out his gauntlet, and you guys can see that his eyes are tearing up as he just stands, and then he like, I forget what the word is, but he like recollects himself and he stands up tall again. He kind of tilts his head back, and then he just lowers it, turns around, and he walks away. So as that happens, people are like talking, chanting, and there's some people like pulled out musical instruments, start playing. You hear like 4 different groups of people playing their various songs. There's a lot of chatter. People are pouring into taverns and going to cooking stalls, and like it's almost like the festival's happening right now in this brief, 30 minutes to an hour, as people are slowly walking out, talking to strangers, and like, oh my god, I wonder who the new king is, and that's amazing. Oh, I'm so sad he's sick. That's terrible. He's right. Everyone does deserve a second chance. Blah blah blah. And I mean, just everything you could think of, every single topic is talked about in all sorts of different ways, positively, negatively. But yeah, that was the king's speech.
I wonder if
Super
he'll
cool.
name me his successor.
Dang it, what was I gonna ask?
Maybe.
Dang it.
Maybe it's like a
do-
golden ticket situation.
Do we know when the festival is, like, how long we have until that festival, basically?
Yes. So the current day.
Not trying to have this dude die before I send him a letter.
So he said he's ill, and you got that he is
Yeah.
trying to transition power well before he is like seriously ill and dying. He doesn't want a weak
Yeah.
king on the throne. So you get the sense that while he is dying and has an illness, it's not something that's going to take him in like the next year even. He just
okay, good.
he just doesn't want to be on the throne sick.
Yeah.
He has seen people, fall, trying to hold on to the throne as long as possible. Let me see here. So this is the 8th of Night All.
Anyhow,
Ni hao. It is the 8th of Night All. And the drawing down happens on the 30th, but the festival would start on the 21st. So the festival starts in 13 days.
Wow, pretty quick.
Yep.
But
If we're unlucky, we
at
might not
least-
even be back by then.
hopefully we're not unlucky.
But
well,
the
he just springs this festival on people in a couple of weeks.
But they know about the
3
festival.
weeks.
It was just
Yeah.
no.
yeah, you're right.
They
yeah,
know about the
there's
festival. It's just the fact that he's going to
well,
announce
I mean,
his
he made it
successor.
sound like this 10-day festival is
the 10-day
big
festival
deal,
is
'cause he's like,
extra.
it's gonna be 10 days.
It is. Yeah,
Oh,
typically
okay,
it typically it takes place
I
on the
see.
30th, the last day, but he is extending it to start on the 21st.
Oh,
Okay, so it's not like we're at super risk of missing it. We're just maybe not going to be here for the beginning if we,
all of it at least.
because it's like a 10-day out to our mission, right?
No, it's 10 days total. It's like
Total.
3 days or so there, and then maybe 6 back. It depends on how many rest and everything.
cool
I mean,
beans.
there's a lot of factors in it, but yeah.
that makes sense.
I'm thinking about the vendors here.
Can I
Shoot, I gotta set up for a 10-day festival.
can I
Yeah, I
try
was
and
kinda
listen
thinking the same
around to see if I hear any names of who people think the successor is going to be?
I bet you hear every name under the sun.
I want to just see if there's like a consensus. Like, do people say this name more than others? Like,
Probably.
or
That's
think so.
that's a good. So let me tell you this. Are you guys? So it's the beginning of this date. Do you guys want to wait another day to leave, or are you guys going to prep any more today and then leave tomorrow morning? It is only like 11 o'clock in this day.
Well, I think our original plan is to leave tomorrow.
I think so because that's when Simon would have gotten the boat
The boat,
in the
the
team,
boat,
right?
the boat is ready.
Well, I mean, it's up to
So
you
we could leave
guys.
today.
I'm kind of whatever's.
I guess the only thing I would really want to do before we go is just like take the pulse of the crafting people who all got super excited, like, oh, we're gonna get paid for our craft and we can do all this cool stuff, and just be like, what sort of stuff do we like? What do we expect from that? You guys all seem to be in the know. You were excited, so what does that mean?
For sure. So the reason I asked if you guys are leaving is if you are intending to leave today, then you would gather less information because you're more focused on leaving. But if you guys want to do these type of investigations off of the temperament and whatnot, the crowd of what happened, then you can take that time, but you may not be able to leave today.
I kind of want to put a hood up and hide my face a little bit.
So
Oh, poor Petra.
Feeling
so
overstimulated?
Sherfa, give me a investigation. Olden, give me an investigation. Tetra, give me a perception.
Not overstimulated, over
Ooh.
called out.
Oh,
I'll pretend.
oh yeah, because he was all like, yeah, Leonin suck. Haha.
But he said to forgive them all. That's why I was kind of. Should have waited in the speech, I guess.
What was my role supposed to be?
Perception.
Deception.
Oh my glob.
21.
26.
What'd you get, Tetra?
21.
21.
20. With 21, you feel this. You feel like everyone's eyes are on you. But as you look around, no one's focused on you. Before you throw your hood up, no one's focused on you. No one seems to be giving you the look, and you would gather that no one is
Angry at me.
angry or holding a grudge towards Leilona. It feels it was more about what happened in that moment, and it's more about the mages that commanded the Leonin, who are their personal protectors of Tridon.
Yeah.
So it's more about the action of the controllers, not so much
Also-
the pawns.
You're probably like the only one out there as well. So I
He
mean,
did
you,
tell me in the last session. I noticed that I'm the only one here.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you probably just cause a lot of stirs.
Stick out.
Sherfa, what did you roll for investigation?
21 as well.
21. You hear a lot of chatter about, and this is more of a fearful chatter, but you hear that there is a mage in Tridon who has been making a lot of trips here, and that's got to be it. It's one of the mages from the Union Enclave. They're gonna fully take over.
Do I catch a name or not? It's okay if not.
No. Well,
Okay.
no, you would. You would. You would. Let me. Someone named Bob.
Bob.
Yep. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm feeling like I remember that name from
Yeah.
a certain other campaign that took place before this one.
Maybe.
Crap.
Oh, Olden, what'd you roll? 26?
26. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense that they're like, oh yes, finally, like we never get to bring our displays out from like this district, and there's excitement that they're going to be able to pull everything out to the upper echelon where the rich people are, and they can pull full displays out, and they're like talking about opening old crates of inventions and tinkerings and carvings that they made that no one in the mid district or lower district would buy because it costs so much to make and the materials and whatnot. But the rich people who typically don't come down here, when this stuff happens, when they have festivals and authorized like gatherings or whatever, they usually sell stuff, and they're like, oh, I can finally make this thing that I've been wanting to make, but the material's too expensive, but one of those wackos up there will buy it. So they're just super excited about basically letting their creative juices flow and feeling like there's a good chance that they'll be able to turn money on it.
I guess I would also ask then, like, is this something that anybody can participate in, or do you have to be like a registered member of the guild, or what's up with that? Can I have a license?
You don't have to be registered, but you don't have to be registered, but to display your items, you have to be with someone who is registered. So you could piggyback on someone else if they, let's say, own a shop or something. So with that information, you would get the sense that you could go ask Noprock if you could display any of your creativity stuff at his display if he's going to have one. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
Bat Guild.
I would.
you would have
for
also
sure do
found that Astrophy is like excited because she has stuff that she's been wanting to sell, and Noprock already told her that she would be able to display hers as well.
I guess I would just lean into that friendship and be like, oh, like we should come up with something grand. Like maybe we can collaborate on something.
They're like, yeah. I mean, we're gonna be doing schematics, and would you have mentioned your trip to the river to them over the days you've been tinkering and stuff?
Well, I'll probably mention it to him right now.
Okay.
And just be like, so I'm off on this, I'm off on this mission. I've been hired to go down river. But tell me, like, some of your ideas. Give me some things I can work on while we're traveling.
They quickly go and grab a few schematics, and they put them together. Like, no, these don't really match the same style. God, what is something that's cool? Let's see. They're your old tinkers. They come up with a cool like grandfather cuckoo clock that's all metal. that has like scenes acting out through like gears and cogs and stuff where it's some sort of scene. I I'm making this off the top of my head. It's some
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
scene where like as the bell or whatever goes back and forth, something pops out, and when it goes down, pops out a little bit lower and lower and lower and lower, and then somehow it's like really mechanical and complicated, but it tells a story as the clock ticks.
Oh, that's so cool.
So they would
So
say
so
if depending on what you would do, they'll split up into 3 jobs: the internal mechanics, which is gears, which is something they probably need to do there because they have to lay it out. There's the sheeting on the outside that would need like special calligraphy and like design, like swirls and intricate whatever looking stuff. And then there's like the head of it that would probably be made out of a steel box or something with some other intricate tinkering stuff. I don't know.
I think I would ask them to let me handle the like detail exterior sheeting work,
Okay.
so that I can just be like, oh, I got this experience with cartography. Like I'm so used to making clean lines. Let me work on this. It's something easy enough I can do while I'm traveling, and then I'll bring everything I make back.
Cool. They agree. You guys spend the afternoon sketching out a rough idea so you can take that with you. They talk about other projects that they're also going to work on, and that when you get back, you guys will spend time together to put it all together. But they're going to work on other stuff as well because there's only so much they can do until you guys get everything together. But they're super excited to work with you, and they did you already say previously that they're allowed to go into your workshop when you're not there?
Yes, they are absolutely.
Very good. Did you guys hire people? If so, how many for security?
Great question.
We hired
This
the
is some-
entire town watch.
You got the numbers, but we haven't talked about it.
That'll have to be something I guess we have to say, yeah, we want that, and buy it before we leave town tomorrow. So party, what do we feel up for, since this will
Do you-
likely be a group expenditure?
Do you remember what the details were?
Yeah, it's a gold and a half if we can provide facilities, which is basically a barracks or barracks-like place for them to stay, and then that's for a year-long contract that I'd be willing to do that. But apparently we're also able to pay them monthly. So if we just come by, even once a month to make sure that our tab is paid up, we should be able to do that.
Could probably send it, like just mail the money,
And
little.
feeling any amount of gold makes me nervous, but we could probably do it. You're right.
That's right. We haven't really heard anything back from Titus yet.
Speaking of that, we
I was
could
looking at
always
extra
send him a
armor.
message,
Shit's
see how he's doing.
So is it something that we can just do? I mean, do we need to have guards when we're here, or is it just when we're gone?
I mean, both helps. We are only 5 people, so
You guys would also know that you would have a harder time hiring people for adventures and then firing them after. Typically, people that have like security job or position for keep or something, it's a long-term deal. It's people you want to trust. If you cycle through people, fire hire, you're going to eventually get a bad egg. You guys can do that, but that is a risk you will run into.
I mean, if it really comes down to it and we end up losing this location, or we end up having to be somewhere else permanently, then we can cross that bridge when it comes to it. But for now, do we want to try to get stuff set up so that our stuff can be protected while we're gone?
I mean, yeah. I just think that a gold and a half per day. It's just 1 gold and a half per day?
Per person,
Per person.
per day.
Oh, per person. How many people are we looking at doing?
I mean, I
That's
feel like we would want to have proper security at a minimum.
That was like 10 people, right?
6 is the bottom end of that.
That's
a
like
lot of money.
so six people is like 24-hour security. There's always at least 2 to 3 people on duty. Like it's basically a machine that runs itself. Like your house would be stocked, it would be clean, set to your standards. you know, that's it's like you guys protecting someone's house. You're gonna get the job done.
Yeah. I mean, but if we're only doing it
That's
month to month,
but that is 9 gold per day.
Yeah.
and if we are thinking about doing month to month, I mean, if you just think the people that broke into the other houses were orphans and mice, do you really think we're gonna have too much of an issue?
Well, all I know is that what I've got down in the workshop, at least, and I'll say this like quietly, like I'll lean in to whisper to them when I say this, but like what I've got down in the workshop, at least, is probably worth breaking in all by itself. So
I just know that we don't have like a ton of money, and until we like get more money, I mean, we only have what we have currently.
well, we should
Yeah.
hire
Is it
at least
month?
a couple
3,
of
10
people to
days?
stop by.
Can we do a half team, like 3?
You can promise money and just pay it when it's due. You don't have to pay it all up front or anything.
And also, you know, Relisa, if you feel that strongly about it, I've heard you be very persuasive lately. Maybe you can go in and try to negotiate a better price.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if maybe we're doing a long-term contract, that maybe that makes the, you know, more of a makes sense. It's just a lot of money. I mean, 9 gold a day. That's even for just a month. That's 270 gold.
I mean,
So
we've been promised 10,000.
you guys would also know
We don't
that
have that.
you guys would also know that a keep this size, this isn't like some house. This isn't like, you know, a house that you're living in. This isn't like just a workshop. Like, this is a full-blown keep with towers and stuff. This is essentially running a business. I mean, you guys could sell this place if you wanted to. You don't even have to keep it. You could guard it for a short period of time, move the mech wherever you want to move it to, and then sell the place for a lot of money. But if you are wanting to keep it, again, something this size, you could even move to a smaller place and have less to worry about, less security, and but with something this size and stuff, that is the range of people. Not trying to convince you one way or another, just inform you.
Sherfa, I have an idea. This is important. We talked about funding and training the orphans. Is there any way we could set it up to turn one of the rooms of our house, of our keep, into like some sort of schooling area?
Well, I mean, we could always do the bottom half. We're on the top half, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're on the top half
Besides
mostly.
the kitchen, I mean.
The workshop's mostly in the basement. My thought is that if we
Bottom half's pretty full. Need the library and the piano room.
Which
And
would be great. Classrooms.
Yeah.
and we could also ask for some of the funding to take care of that, right? Part of having a school would be providing security. So
Probably also tax
deductible, yeah.
deductibles.
yeah, we're providing a charitable service. So you know, maybe we can talk to them about that and see if we can even just get something rolling. You said
We
you
could
donated some amount of money. See if they're
always
willing
try
to.
and sell the place
I don't know
altogether
if I
and
want
us
to do
buy a
that.
different place. Oh, but you just don't want to move the mech in the workshop.
Olden, give me a wisdom save.
Yeah, I need a wisdom save for that. This hurts. I got advantage on that actually, so that's good because that was a shit roll. Okay, wisdom 21.
So with a 21, you're wanting to like reach over the table and just slap him metaphorically. But what does come to mind through this clarity is you already have a business. You don't need two. This one's better. Maybe you should sell your old place.
Ever.
Okay, fair enough. It popped in your head and immediately left.
You're like, that's a bad idea. Keep going.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's also
I
a
do.
sentimental value. So besides just the fact that it exists,
Sure.
so should we talk to the mayor then? I'm happy to talk to the mayor, and see what kind of deal we might be able to come up with with
If we
saying
could
like,
at least create one of the or two of the rooms to be some bunk bedrooms and then the rest a school, it would still fit the bottom floor.
yeah,
Tell you what, I've got some magic here that helps us move stuff around. I was able to use this on myself to move the mech downstairs into the workshop, basically on my own. Why don't Sherfa and Relisa, you guys can go talk to the mayor and see if you can secure some funding for this schooling project, and see if we can get some people to just watch the place while we're gone. And Tetra and I can go back to the house and we can move all the stuff out of one of those rooms and set it up as a classroom.
and where do I go and get big burly men to protect the house?
You know where to find big burly men.
I know where to
You
find
Got
know.
them,
like a
but
big burly
did
men
you
radar.
already do that research?
Yeah, Simon gave us all the tips for that.
Okay, perfect.
Find the big burly
Sure,
men
let's go
research.
find us some men.
Also, I do think that we could at least make one of the rooms a bedroom until we can get an actual house.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
before the
and if
war
we
starts.
offer that,
Uh,
they might offer us more of our of that 50% that they were going to give to the whole thing. So,
that's kind of
might
what I
have
was
more
thinking.
funding.
Yeah, we might be able to do something good for the community and also good for ourselves at the same time.
So I feel like I need to have a like a list of what is it that I'm actually asking the mayor for? You want me to ask him for funding?
Well,
Well,
just a
and the
portion
men.
of what Sherfa already gave him, just to provide security for this future home of the school. You know, I'm sure we can talk to the guild. Maybe somebody
I
would be
didn't give
willing to
him
come by and
anything.
provide classes. Oh, I thought you gave him like 20 gold.
Well, technically yes, but I mean, I don't. That was just for the feeding of the two kids. I don't think 20 gold's gonna go back to us. But I'm sure that they could find some instead of sending
Even if we could just
funds
have the guards
to.
stop by a couple times a day.
Yeah. Well,
I- wait,
when they were talking about possibly not completing all the work on this place and doing it on this one. Well, if there's no work to be done, then maybe they can send some funds there. We'll have to just see what he has.
Yeah, maybe we can even do an exchange where we will provide the location for the house for the school and stuff, but maybe they can provide our. Is that what you're asking for? That maybe they can
Yeah, I'm
provide.
basically asking for a collaboration with the city to provide a
Hmm.
place where kids can be and learn and be safe.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we benefit from that because we're providing the location and, you know, obviously most of the funding that would go into that, and that in turn, you know, we can bolster our own security and all that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like, where a kid can be a kid.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like
Hmm.
is
I was
if
waiting for
toys
that one.
were us.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just waiting. Anyways, let's go, Relisa. I know the way there.
All right.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, we're walking to the mayor's.
Okay.
We're
I don't know what they're doing.
Okay, so
We're
you
gonna
two.
move furniture to prepare the space for the
Yeah.
potential use by
Um,
the city.
move the bunk beds downstairs and create at least one of those rooms to have beds.
We do that,
Okay.
and I
I am
bolster the lock
assuming
of
the
the workshop.
bottom left.
That's the dining
And
room.
is it? Oh shoot. Okay. Well, I don't want to ruin the library, and the other room is a good teaching room. So I guess what the
We'll just
top
move that
right?
stuff around.
I don't
Maybe
know.
the
Library can
central
be
room
the
can be
teaching.
the library.
I thought this was the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the kitchen.
Kitchen's far
Oh,
left.
dining room.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's just make
And that's
those
the
far
foyer.
right two rooms the place, the bunk beds
The
and the school
areas.
room,
Okay.
and we can move the bookshelves into the main hall.
Alright.
It'll be all okay.
Okay. So I'll get back to you guys in a second. So Relisa and Sherfa, you guys head to the mayor's.
yes.
Yes.
Okay. As you guys approach, you walk in, and there are so many people inside the mayor's office.
Oh my.
You get a sense that the
Where's my
king's...
mask?
Huh?
Social
I
distance.
said, "Where's my
Oh.
mask?"
You get the sense that due to the king's speech, that there's just people talking and stating concerns, asking questions. Who's going to be the next king? You hear that kind of pop up a lot, and there's just a lot of conversation happening in here. You're able to kind of push your way through,
Yeah.
but you see that his office, there's literally like a line of people outside of it. Do you just kind of get in queue and wait?
Do I see the secretary?
You would be able to catch him after he's like running back and forth from like files and talking to people. No, I'm sorry, you are going to have to wait. We're trying to get everybody as soon as possible. Yes, we will be here later than usual. Yes. Sure, Princess. It's nice to...
Yes. Nice to see you again. I'm perfectly fine waiting, but if he could see us sooner, it really will take about 5 minutes. But I understand he's quite busy.
Is it urgent?
It really is.
Give me a deception
It's
check.
more. Okay,
Is
do
it
it.
deception?
That is not urgent.
It is. We're leaving tomorrow.
Okay, roll
That's what I was gonna say
I
as
just,
well.
Roll
I just
persuasion.
didn't want my.
We're like persuasion.
Okay, roll persuasion.
Oh damn. Okay. Ow.
I guess your opinion of what's urgent.
We're leaving tomorrow. 28.
Amanda's opinion of what is a lie.
Well, I did
always
also
differs.
want to like take my letter back if we were writing something different, but yeah.
Okay. He's like, yes, I absolutely, I can. Yes. Give me one moment. And he rushes in and
Like 5 minutes.
and he like squeezes. Excuse me. He's holding like a bunch of papers to his chest, and he pops in. Sir, the princess is back. Okay. Yes. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. And he starts shooing people out of the door, and you see him kind of lean his head out. He says, "Yes, please come in. Come in."
Running.
Yeah, you squeeze by,
Super
you in your
fast.
Goliath form. I mean, you're kind of
Yep.
pressing people against the wall a
Plucking
bit.
it in.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. My bad.
Um,
Okay.
He closes the door behind you as y'all get in the seats, and he's like, "Whoa, my oh my." Hello again.
You're a
cup
little
of
busy
water?
today, aren't you?
We are, yes, very busy. The king, we did not get the information what he was saying, so that's new.
I go over and take the cups
Yeah.
of water that Dasarek was messing with before and pour him a glass of water.
For sure, yeah.
And
He
hand it to him.
he thanks you and drinks this. Oh, what can I back so soon? What can I do for you?
It came up quite urgent. Like I said, we just came into a home. We have a proposition, just real quick, if it can be. We actually have the bottom floor of this home. I guess it's more of a manor, if you know the home. I'm pretty sure you do.
Who was there
Yes, I was there
earlier.
yesterday.
Yeah. So part of that, at least a couple of the rooms, we wanted to be a room for the kids to sleep, and then also a
You would
learning room of sorts.
transform the home into an orphanage.
Just the floor. I mean, the top floor we would still want for our own quarters, and we do have a workshop. We wouldn't let the kids below the house in. It'd be quite
Just on the
dangerous for
main
them if
living
they got in
area.
there. But that main living area has a kitchen, a dining hall, a library. We
Has a
can
great
make room
piano
for
for...
beddings and a teaching room that we could supply for them. This would at least give a starting area, even if it isn't their future forever home as a orphanage, at least for now.
He leans back and he says, "That is extremely gracious of you. Yes, absolutely. The only question I have for you is who would be the orphan keeper? Who would sign the responsibility for the children?"
That's
So
the only thing we came to ask you about. Go ahead, Relisa.
we are wanting to really kind of make an exchange. If we are providing my house for the location and the size and different areas, if you could provide the security that we would need to make sure that everything is intact and nothing gets messed with while we are gone on our adventures. Like we are going to do an adventure for you when we get back in a couple of days. And so if you could
And a
take care
teacher
of
slash
Keeper.
orphanage runner keeper. There we go.
and do what?
She was just saying,
An
and
orphanage
supply
keeper.
orphan keeper.
So
Yeah,
yeah, if you could supply the orphan keeper along with 6 security guards that could keep the keep protected at all times.
And the orphans protected, of course. We
course.
don't need the orphans.
When you say the 6 security guards at all times, his eyes go pretty wide, and he sets down his glass and goes, well, we are more than happy to find someone who is registered and trained as a orphan keeper. We should be able to locate that fairly easily. We could absolutely supply guard to check up on the house and the orphanage. We would have, the funds is the issue. We don't have funds allocated for personal security for, unfortunately, that's just we're not able to do that with government funds. We can't personally supply that, even though it would be for an orphanage. Now we can send guards to check up on the house. We could assign 2 guards to check on it multiple times during the day, but they would not be able to stay there.
I mean, the orphan and housekeeper would be there 24/7 with the orphans, so.
Yes, I assume you have a room for them as well.
We have at least some spot. We'll create a room for them.
Yes, I mean we could
top one could be theirs.
We could absolutely arrange that, and he gestures over to Relisa. Yes, if you agree to recollect the C4 mining gems, then we could use that as payment for security. I believe we could make that work. We could, yes, we could move some money around to make sure they get paid afterwards, while still providing the 50% to, maybe 45% to the orphanage, and 5%, whatever part of that would go towards our orphanage, we could pay for whatever guards to take care while you're out collecting.
And the orphanage money would then go to.
It would go
the
to
homeowner.
The orphan keeper. The orphan keeper would manage the money for the orphans to make sure that they are fed, that they are taken to the appropriate classes to learn a skill as they get off the streets. We want to make them, of course, members of society and give them an opportunity for anyone interested to take them home and adopt them.
Would you be able to at least do, we would say that, the keep that we have, the size that we have, we would have children in there and an orphan manager. We would need at least proper security, 24 hours surveillance with guards for at least the next week while we are gone. Really at a minimum.
Well, roll me a persuasion with disadvantage.
The worst comes to worst, we can at least pay for a week.
That's a natural 20 or a 19, sir. So
for a total of
10. So 29.
Okay.
Jesus.
He will look at you, and you see him really sit there and think, and he just goes, unfortunately, we can't. We cannot supply 24-hour watch. There's no orphanage in the whole city that has security guards whatsoever. Whatever personal effects you have for the house, unfortunately, would be your responsibility. Now, again, we will send guards to come around and check often, but the 24-hour, unfortunately, is just that amount of guards is undoable.
Well, I mean, Relisa, at least if we have them checking and everything, we could probably minimize the amount of ones that we need down from 6 to maybe we pay for 2. But it is a great help. Would any of the funds that the orphan keeper, such a weird phrase.
It's literally the term, I googled it.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
just such a weird phrase.
It's a little weird.
Call
I
her the
c-
headmistress.
yeah,
or the
there we
headmaster.
go.
It's
Something.
Orphan keeper in
so
my
weird.
game. You will call it by its
Okay,
name.
yes, sir.
I will.
Um,
I will call it the cake blaster.
it just sounds
Sure.
like a that's why, because of Critical Role, the Orphan Maker. It just sounds so fucking.
Orphan maker.
Oh.
That's why it sounds so wrong to me. Anyways, um,
Abracadabra, you're an orphan. I killed your parents.
would any of
Be
the
right
funds
back.
be
Okay.
allocated to the actual manor itself for just upkeep? Because the kids,
He's
no offense, but kids tend to break things.
the funds given to the orphan keeper, though all those funds are for food, for new supplies, for that is literally what funding is needed for upkeep of where the children stay, where the orphan keeper stays. So yes.
Well, at least you have that release. At least the manor would still be upkept and taken care of while we're gone.
And if you,
That's
I mean,
partial of the funds that we would want.
is your intention to keep them there indefinitely? Are you wanting a portion of your home to remain a orphanage for a extended period of time? Because once you collect the minerals and ores, we will have more than enough funds to build a own standalone orphanage. I would hate for you to rearrange and make all these changes for something that would be for such a short period of time.
Well, I mean, in my heart, it's how I was raised, but it's Release's home, and I'm not trying to take over her home. Though I guess we probably wouldn't be there for most of the year.
It's true, but there's still that concern of the security, and with having more people in the house than um, there's with children, and who knows what they're gonna do. You saw what the children did at those
That's
other houses that we helped that real estate agent with.
that's what he
So
said the funds would be for, is that she would upkeep, which is what I was said would be nice, is because the orphan keeper would be there 24/7, and her funds would go to be upkeeping of the manor, so that you wouldn't have to worry about the upkeeping of the manor.
I think
At
that's
least that,
something that we would need to talk to the
yeah.
rest of the group with, and see what we would want to do long term. I mean, I
But
I don't know what
we
our
can
long
set it
term
up
plan
for
going to
now.
look like. Um, is there a schedule of, you said that you could at least have some people go over it for, checking in. Do you know like how often they would be
Prob-
there? Like
prob-
what would you be able to commit to?
Probably morning, evening, and night. They could stop by, stick
Okay.
around for roughly 30 minutes each time, check the exterior. If you wanted to give a key, they could do a walkthrough. But that would be about what they would be able to do while still maintaining their duties as guard.
And there would be at least while we're gone, even if we could pay for probably 2 guards, but also there would be the orphan keeper there to at least notify us, if, or someone notify, I guess, the guards if something were to happen. But hopefully I mean, I do think we could at least afford 2 if we have the other guards checking in periodically, instead of paying for 6, which does still save us money.
It does. I just think about it from a perspective of, we are doing a lot on our part, and I didn't think that we were asking for too much when we're providing the housing and the space and everything for for kids that were living on the street just days ago.
And you just see he nods in agreement, and he says, if we had the fundings, they never would have been there in the first place. The size of your heart and generosity will continue to show the great power of the Ironhide tribe and its people's willingness to do what is right. we will continue to work with you. I am still composing that letter, and he kind of scrambles on his desk and pulls it out, and he's still working on writing up my section of the proposal. I'm not sure if this changes things necessarily, but
Oh,
you know,
I would still obviously want the funding still, because the funding could still help both parties. The Relisa for offering her home, and also, of course, the orphan keeper herself.
absolutely.
So,
So-
I do still want to go forward with my letter because, yeah, I do want, obviously, if Relisa is offering her home to get something,
So
but I will.
you want me to assign an orphan keeper over there and to start collecting the street children and showing them to your home, and have
Well-
guard come check by.
Well, I mean, we were planning on doing that for exchange of true security on the house. I don't know how much it makes sense to open up the house to multiple children when that was really my goal.
I mean,
Sure,
at least
I
they
understand.
at that point would be sending guards, just not.
Well, we can send the guards.
24/7,
We can
but
send the
they would
guards
still be sent.
regardless. If you agree to collect the
Hmm.
minerals from C4, I will make sure that that is taken care of out of my own pocket. I'll pay the guards a little extra to take care.
But
But the getting the children set up and setting up a caretaker, I mean, might take some days to collect and get them over there.
do
Especially with
How
all
about,
this madness happening right now.
yeah, would I be able to just get the final decision to your secretary to you tonight, and then
Robin.
Yes, absolutely. Hand it off to whatever I said, and yes, we will enact that for you as quickly as possible.
we'll
just-
fully discuss everything with our.
Just be
house
sure
mate.
if you want us to check the interior to leave a key. Otherwise, we will check the exterior to the best of our ability.
Absolutely, and we truly appreciate that. The only reason I don't know about the security part is because when I looked to release it, Olden still wasn't fully on for the C4 expedition yet, so I don't want to
Right.
say
Because-
something and it not be guaranteed.
Because his goal was that it would be that again we're risking our life for this mission, and we personally weren't getting compensated for it, just that half of it was going towards the orphanage. And
And what a great
but that-
thing to do! A legacy that will outlive your lives. It is, and he just looks at Sherpa. It is just, I cannot express my gratitude to do something that is so well intended for people who need it so desperately. It's very brave of you.
I'm much more gung ho on certain things like that than every single one of my housemates. That's why I said it was optional. And of course, if we can, we can. But either way, I still have that letter contacting my father to at least help the orphans in that way if we can't do the other.
Absolutely. Well, I believe our 5 minutes is up, and it's clearly been 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
So I appreciate. Good luck on your quest. And the door burst open as people are trying to clamor in there. Yes, I will get you. Come in, and you guys file past some people that are kind of passing out. Amanda, I didn't know what your +2 persuasion was. I was looking for a 30. I'm not even kidding. I said 35
Dang
at
it.
first, and I was like, nah, that's like,
it's
I don't even know
plus
if that's
10, so
yeah.
I got almost
You're
Perfect.
Almost.
I said if she gets 30, I'm gonna
No.
just give it to him. And that's that. But I thought you might have had a plus
Aw.
11 or something because I have that on Voxamillion. But
Nope.
anyways,
plus 10.
As we're walking out, I'm just gonna like, under my breath, be like, "Give the man a break," and then just walk out.
yeah, okay, I mean, people,
it.
yeah, for sure. So,
Going.
Tetra and Olden, you guys are destroying the room, setting up for an orphanage as these guys are gone. You do so.
What
That's
is
that.
Simon doing?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna even use enhance ability if we needed to make sure that we get all the furniture moved out,
For sure.
in
For sure.
time.
So what are you guys doing with the guard?
I assumed we would go back
Yeah.
and present what the mayor said.
Yep.
I explain it all to them, that the mayor said that he would have guard that would come by morning, evening, and night. Yeah.
Paying out of his own
And
pocket to have them do so.
Yep.
When we leave for the mayor's office, though, I would go to Big Burly Men RS and
mhm.
see if I can make a deal with like the security company directly, and just see if I can get a better deal for like a month or something like that.
PT Dubs, it's almost
Oh, yeah?
10:30,
Like-
which would make it 12:30 for our Oklahomies.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do the price negotiating in chat.
I mean, are you guys good to keep going for like another 5-10 minutes?
I'm fine.
Sure.
I'm fine.
Can't hear you, Kyle. So you head towards the Iron Willed Merc Incorporated, and you head in there and you ask for a better price on a monthly price. So instead of 2 gold per merc per day, what are you going to negotiate? The amount that you negotiate will change the DC.
And instead of 1.5 gold per day.
Well, yeah, it was 1.5 already.
1.5 is if you do a year-long contract. Otherwise, it's 2 gold a day.
Oh. Even
And we were
for
thinking about doing a
supplying lodging?
month.
Yes.
So I would
That's
say, so I would ask to do, well, I didn't know that the other deal was actually a year-long contract. I thought that was just the price of it.
No, so in the game, written in the book, a skilled hireling, which is a guard, is average. The standard cost is 2 gold a day. That's just D&D rules.
That's in the player's handbook or the Dungeon Master's Guide.
I think it's player's handbook. It's a skilled hireling. If you want to hire an unskilled hireling, I think it might be less, but it's like hiring a commoner to it's like hiring a house sitter essentially.
Yeah, go stand here and be present.
Yeah, watch the person rob you. Not saying that you're going to get robbed. I'm going to roll for stuff like this, but
I would say I would just ask him what the price would be if we wanted to hire him for 2 weeks currently, and as like a trial run, and maybe we would extend our contract based off of his skill and his ability to keep our house safe while we are out adventuring.
That's really clever.
And that
if you guys do a good job, we'll hire you on.
We'll hire you full time, for a good price. But I would also let him know that we do have a pending contract with the mayor to assist on country or state or whatever activities to keep them safe as well. So it's kind of a scratch each other's back situation.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's a 27.
Hell yeah.
Damn, that plus 10.
Yeah, that's dope. So you see this big burly dwarf go, all right, I'll make a deal for you. You hire us on. I'll do 1 gold, 5 silver a day per man. Try him out. Try it out for 2 weeks. If you like us, you hire us on for a month at a time at 1.7 gold. If you don't like us, you pay the full 2 gold for the time we were there.
Wait, so if they do a bad job and we don't want to hire them, then we have to pay them extra?
Yes.
That sounds more like a scam than a deal.
How is it a deal for me, sir?
Well, once we're there, we'll do a great job, and then you'll get a deal out of it.
I mean, we do, and I'm just putting this out there to kind of put it out there that they will be somewhat watched as well. We are going to have the other guard out watching morning, evening, and night as well. So, since it's an orphanage with children,
Because of the deal that we
Sherpa's
made with
just laying
the
it on
mayor,
thick.
the
Yeah.
mayor will
where's
be
your-
there. His guys will be there morning, noon, and night for a little while. But we do want to make sure that my keep is safe and protected, and that there's no
Okay.
shenanigans.
Okay. I did mess up that. I guess I miss. So 1.5 gold for the 2
Oh.
weeks. If you keep them on, they'll stay on for 1.7.
Yep. Okay.
If they, let me see here.
Give me
If they
okay.
do 2 weeks and you don't, then just the 1.5 for the
Continue
2
the
weeks.
service.
Yeah. If you don't continue service, then it's just not continued.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That makes
Well,
more sense. I was worried that it was going to be like, if somebody successfully steals from us and we don't want to hire them back,
Right.
they're going to charge us extra.
What
I know.
happened?
I'm like, why would I do that?
Right.
Okay, that sounds better.
How many guard? How many do you need?
Should decide this or go back and ask first, Relisa.
Well, Olden wanted 6. He
Yeah, but
wanted
we all have
24
to pitch in our money.
He wanted 24-hour protection of the keep.
Mhm.
We know that the mayor's guards are going to be there a little bit throughout the day. Hopefully, you guys could doing coordinate that schedule, being the professionals and everything that you are, and then so like 4.
Okay, so you're gonna hire
3?
4?
Three. I'm saying 3. I'm saying half of what
I
Olden
just
wanted
need an
because we're
answer.
also going to have extra people. That's what I'm telling Relisa.
Yes, let's do 3. 3 sounds good.
Okay, you hire 3
The
guards.
biggest and burliest ones.
Very good.
Fire.
You hire 3 guards. Let me see here.
The total, and I will pay for it.
Man, that took a hell lot longer than I thought it would.
I know. Sorry.
Some hard negotiations.
Oh my god. I literally gave you a discount just for the sake of wrapping it up. Because they would not have. Anyway, you guys do that. You set up. You give them the lay of the land. You tell them, where all the spots are and stuff. And I honestly, I'm so tired. I don't have the energy to do the part that I was hoping to do.
Oh.
What was the DC on the guards? I know you said you just gave us a discount so that we could be done, but like, what roll would she have needed to make on that persuasion to get it a discount successfully?
There was none.
Oh, there was none.
There
Okay.
was none. There was none. So I had her roll. So I'm sorry. There was none. But I thought, okay, as long as she beats like a 20, I'll give her something just because, you're doing a very good job negotiating, playing your character. But I was just going to be like, there is none. But I felt like you would not have stopped if I continued to say no. So,
No, I wouldn't have. I have really great perception.
Well-
Persuasion. I would just keep
Persistence.
going.
yeah.
Persistence.
Yeah. Next time I'm just
Yep.
going to say, it doesn't happen. You don't ask anymore. Moving on. Yeah. Honestly, it was
Yep.
dragging a bit, the game, and it made me tired. We'll stop there.
It's a relatively unimportant situation.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes you got to take the L. God.
I was trying.
I'm just trying to think. Peter, are you
That's
awake?
just a rough situation in general. Like,
Well, I just,
we're
I am
providing
awake.
so much to them, and they're
Oh, no.
not willing to budge on anything.
yeah.
But I mean, I can understand that. Well, was it just more like you got caught off guard? That probably wasn't like a scheme you were expecting us to like come up with.
Yeah. Yeah, I on it above the table, I thought that he was
Oh.
caving enough, and there was enough of a situation where he's already expressed that he doesn't have any funds to give, and the mercs, I never intended to negotiate on that at all. Just be like, nope, that's the price, take it or leave it. And then
Yeah.
for the mayor, it was like he was negotiating with you to a certain degree, but he only has so much power.
Yep.
I thought you were really
Definitely.
going to enjoy the orphan angle, since like because you really like us to be super benevolent. So I was like, okay, cool, yeah, like he'll appreciate that we're providing like vocation and that we're providing housing and getting these kids like situated.
Well,
They have to be paid for. Like the teacher has to be paid.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
I mean
No, I was
I
even gonna go with the angle with like getting somebody to come
Yeah.
over from the guild, so we could really get them like involved with crafting.
to me, and this is fine, but to me it overcomplicates stuff because now your kind of base of operations is also a school. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
eventually you get enough notoriety and your adventure goes so high that someone may come after you, and now there's an school of orphans literally there to be slaughtered if they're caught off track from something. Like if you guys screw
Yeah.
someone, like they're cannon fodder.
Damn,
So
that would be a truly evil person to attack an orphanage.
that's right, and that's typically
Exactly.
who you
That's
Yep.
guys
why
go
we
against.
need the orphanage to, kind of discourage that.
I thought you guys would pan off the orphans and let that be its own thing by just going getting the gems, and that would
I
quote
was
unquote
letting it.
solve it. Well, I mean, it's fine. I mean, you know, this is
I thought it was a clever
I-
angle.
it absolutely
I
is
was
clever.
fine either way.
No, it's a great it's a great thing, and release a freaking screw Relisa. Amanda
card.
murdered the persuasion. It was I
Yeah.
literally couldn't say no just because you were so convincing with a bunch of stuff. I did like my moment where the mayor was like, and that's why you're such good people.
Yeah, you should just let me
Uh,
take you for all you're worth because
Relisa
you're
was super.
good.
If Sherfa wasn't there,
Yeah.
Relisa
Oh, I'm
would
sure.
have said "f the orphans."
No,
I'm
But-
sure everyone would.
I definitely believe that. And he would have
I'm
just
pretty
moved
sure
on
my
because
whole group would.
that's literally how the orphans are where they are, because no one cares enough
Yep.
to put money towards them and
And
stuff and whatnot. So he would have
That's
been
why Releasa's Sherpa's trying so hard.
yeah.
Like literally, no one's doing shit for them.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't really get to your part, Peter.
I know. Sorry, Peter.
I am going to show y'all something though, just to get a little excited for next session. If you look at roll 20.
Ooh, felt bad. And I was like, dang it, because I do want to get on that boat. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get on the boat.
So
Want to do boat thing.
this is the
Where's room 20?
this is the map, and there's some
Yeah, but where is
rules
it?
There.
and stuff on here that you can kind of peek around at.
I don't see that it's changed.
Oh.
Okay, cool. I'm not the only one then.
Also, I don't have a
Oh, roll 20
Simon.
token.
Yeah.
Well, good thing we didn't
Oh,
get very
no.
far. Let me see. Where's my? Oh, I lost my tab. Oh, come on. Give me something. Tonight
It's
has
all
not
you,
been
Peter,
my night.
next session.
Yeah, we need to have a Peter arc. We haven't had a Peter arc for so long.
No. I didn't mean for it to go the way it went, actually.
It's okay. I do love being caught off guard. I absolutely was. It was super fun.
Is it going to be easier though to like in the future to just kind of let things
No,
be
please-
the way that they are?
please don't do that. No, I like the challenge. I like being caught off guard. It challenges me as a DM and stuff. And
Well, and we were also saying the other day that we really want to do like cool stuff